Construction here, construction there, construction everywhere. We are back at Universal for another Halloween Horror Nights construction update. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Michael from Hallowed Thrills back with another video, and that is right, we are back here at Universal Studios in Orlando for another construction update for Halloween Horror Nights 34. It's been about a couple weeks now and we have since had all of our scare zones announced, so there is a crap ton of construction to talk about and show off to you guys. There's a ton of stuff in Hollywood, ton of stuff in Central Park. There's even some stuff going on in San Francisco. But before we really get into the park and check out anything, please make sure you're subscribed and have the bell notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video. And also make sure you're following both Instagram and X. The links are down in the description below. But without further delay, let's walk towards our front gate here and head into the park to check out some construction. So as always, with these construction updates, we start our journey here at the front of the park. And as of right now, this is rumored to be our Origins of Horror scare zone here at the entrance. There are a few light fixtures up on this building here. And the current rumor, well, not actually rumor, it's been confirmed by Laura Sauls, is that our big archway or our big entrance that's supposed to be here that normally has the Horror Nights sign and that like neon red is actually going to be blue this year. So I'm super excited for a little change in scenery. They said they've been wanting to do that for a couple years and they finally got around to it this year. So I'm excited for a nice little bit of change there. But yeah, as far as actual visible construction goes right now in this area, there is not much other than these lights. But the thing that we kind of want to take a look at is the fact that there are lights, a ton of lights here further down in Production Central. So let's go take a look at that. So here in Minions Alley / Production Central, like I said, we have lights here. Now these like kind of off-white lights are normally always there, but these black lights that are all over the place down this area on either side of the street are not always there, and we have a ton of those, like I said, on either side of the street. So I'm interested to see if we see the return of this zone down the middle here. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, the rate that things have been going as far as announcements and everything considered with this event, it seems like they are really listening to us this year with things that we've hated the last couple years. So this has been an issue the last couple years with this scare zone being very dull, very short. So who knows? Maybe we could in fact see the scare zone pushed back into Production Central / Minion Alley here this year again. But now that that's out of the way though, let's head back around towards Hollywood to check out all of the construction going on there, because there is a ton of stuff going on over there. So the few things that have stayed the same since the last time we were here is at the end of the area here for Hollywood, we still do have these little entrance pillars. Nothing is on them just yet, but as you probably saw, we have a ton of stages already being set up, which, like I kind of figured, with all of the parades not happening, they're able to put these up well in advance this year. And like I said, we have 4 of them. Very, very interesting setups that they have here. This one has a raven in the stained glass on the back. This one over here that just got put up today has a cat. And then there's 2 more down here that we'll take a closer look at. But up in the sky, we do have a ton of lighting on the tops of the buildings. Like I said though, I'm still waiting on a big chandelier to be strung across here. I really hope that they end up doing it. But as of right now though, we just have all these lights on the tops of the buildings and these little standees. But I'll kind of walk around each of these stages to give you guys a closer look though, because they are interesting. And I wonder if these like glass panels or the stained glass look, if they actually like open outwards. It doesn't appear so, but I'm interested to see what they do with these and like how much more they kind of theme these. But still, really cool, but let's go check out the other two that are further down the street. So here's our next one that is a gargoyle. And once again, so far we had the cat, the bat, and now we have a gargoyle. Very interesting, but this one looks a little bit more see-through, and you can definitely tell that there is some depth to it on the front and the back, so we're gonna have like some sort of backlighting on that, and that should be really, really cool. And then you can tell that there's the Tyvek on this part right here, so these are hiding speakers in there, either speaker systems or fog machines, or both, who knows. But this whole stage here is currently hiding that big pillar there that should have lights going or speakers going on it soon. But there's more of that material down there that is hiding either lights or fog machines. These ones are more likely fog machines, and the ones up there are more than likely speakers. And our last one is this little area here that has an actual barricade up at the top. So I'm interested to see what makes this one different than the other three, because those three are all kind of the same color, and this one's a little bit of a different color. And this one has the bat on it. So we had a cat, raven, gargoyle, and of course now a bat. And in case you forgot, the current speculation for this zone is the Masquerade Dance with Death zone, which is our like vampire masquerade zone. So yeah, I would probably guess that this is 100% what this is for. I couldn't figure out any other connection with any of the other zones right now that would say that this is anything different. Quick stop in at 5 and Dime. We still only have our Terrifier stuff out. They have plenty of the little pieces for our sign here. There was an announcement today, but it wasn't another house. It was our shows for this year. I say shows with an S. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but still just our Terrifier merch in here. And then of course we have the Jason puzzle pieces, which are now back in stock for the Jason announcement. And then I believe Fallout should be on the other side, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Yep, and there is Fallout and the little puzzle piece for that. I don't know if they currently have any more of the actual like pieces, like the piece that these go in, but I can ask for you guys. Yes, so they do have them yet again, but they are now, instead of being on the counter at the back, now they are completely under the counter and you have to ask for them. They're very interesting how they are selling those. I'm not quite sure I understand the strategy for it, to have to ask for it. I'm not sure that that's really the best option for them. But yeah, so it looks like as of right now, the frames and the puzzle pieces, all three of them that have currently been announced, are available. So if you want them, now is probably the best time to get them before they end up selling out, because those pieces and the frame tend to go in and out of stock. Now we are just walking past Mel's Drive-In, and we have these pillars again from last time, but now we officially have our answer as to why these are all the way over here. Both this one and the one that's over there by Battery Park, as this area will be used as our street experience, which will be the Mel's Die-In Zombies. So I'm interested to see how much more theming goes into this part of the area, and also at the same time, what makes this street experience different than a normal scare zone. Now over to Battery Park. We still have this up, but they have added some lights to either side of it. And we finally have some stuff under here. I'm not sure if that's actually related to Horror Nights. Probably isn't, probably just to cool people off. But there is stuff back here, which is the like television and light setup that we had last year for the HHN bar. And they now have lights on this as well. But I expect probably within the coming weeks we'll have a stage here and here set up, as well as probably one over on either side of this as well, for our HHN bar to return and have some original house scare actors come out and meet people during the event. But as of right now, that's kind of what this is looking like it's gonna be again. But let's head over towards Central Park to talk about one of our shows. Now, last time we were here, everyone saw this and everyone said, huh, that's strange. Last time we saw one of these out in front of Central Park was the last time that we had Ghoulish, which was our fountain show. Well, today it was officially confirmed that we are once again getting a fountain show for this year. This is huge for us because we really needed a second show in the last couple of years to really die down or kind of cut down on some of the crowds. So this year's show for the Central Park, for the lagoon, is Hauntophonic, a ghoulish journey. A ghost story is rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music. So I'm super excited though that they officially did announce that this is coming back, and I wonder with the kind of radio DJ vibe of previously having Ghoulish here, now that we have the Ghoulish journey, if that's going to be kind of the same thing or if they're going to be mix it up a bit. But personally for me, I loved the original Ghoulish fountain show that we had for Horror Nights, even though it didn't last that long. So I really hope that they can kind of up the game a little bit on this one. But definitely something I'm excited for. But now let's head into the actual scare zone part of Central Park, because there is even more construction going on in here. We do have some stuff going on in here, like I did say, and this basically confirms what this scare zone is going to be. So we have number 9, Crooked Lane, which of course is going to be the crazy cat lady from Crooked Lane. Super interesting scare zone idea. But I'm interested to see, because there's these parts here that are now covered up. I'm interested to see if we're gonna have like some sort of big like entrance above this, like some big archway. Definitely gonna be something to keep an eye on. But we have some stages being set up on the sides as well. Don't know if we're gonna have like stuff built up on top of here, or if this is just gonna be like kind of foliage. And then of course, remember last time we were here, we were like, they're setting out flags for something on either side here. And it looks like they were setting out flags to kind of dig down to build platforms for something that's going to be on the sides here. Because there's one here, and then the other spot that had a bunch of stuff over there, we can take a look at in a second. There is now a platform over there as well. But we have a couple more of these little like brick stanchions here, as well as some speakers on the side, and like I said, another one of these platforms, and another one of the brick kind of columns over there, as well as one more platform back here, and some more speakers. Not a lot of lights going up. I haven't really seen anything as far as electrical being run into the trees just yet, but it's only a matter of time before we start seeing some pumpkins pop up in these trees. Oh, and I just saw this. There is one more platform all the way over here. And it looks like they do have an electrical box behind that. So something will be on this platform that needs power. It also looks like we may be getting an extension of the Central Park zone this year, as we have a ton of stuff over here. And at this point, it doesn't look like it's intended to be going into the actual zone in Central Park itself. It looks like this is actually supposed to be all the way over here, and I can kind of prove that because if you walk underneath of it, you have lighting being set up here, as well as these like support columns that are going kind of around the trees here. So interesting if they're going to try to funnel you this way as sort of like an open air house, because there also is areas for boo holes here on either side. So like I said, very compelling stuff here. And we can see in here that there is some lights that will be going into the back of these cat-like stained glass windows. So like I said, a lot of interesting stuff going on over here in Central Park. That is something that we have not seen in the past. Like there is just a ton of construction everywhere. And there is this massive stage that I can only assume at this point is going to be the cat lady's house at this point, which is going to be a massive set piece that will really tie this entire zone together. And quick stop kind of in front of Animal Actors to see the covered seating area. The seats are still there. Nothing has kind of been progressed on getting a food booth here, so we can move on from that. Now, once again, as we were walking through Springfield, things are starting to feel a little bit different here. So last time we walked through this, we didn't have any sort of street experiences or scare zones announced. So now that we have these street experiences announced, now we could possibly bring up the idea of the chainsaws returning in this area. Who knows? I personally have no idea, but as of right now, from what I'm seeing, there's no lights being set up here in Springfield, so still not looking likely, but like I said, who knows? We didn't think we'd have these extra street experiences this year, so anything's possible at this point. And the extended queue for Simpsons does not have an entrance portal just yet. So we're gonna head back towards the exit of Simpsons to see if we can get a better look at the facades for the two of the four sprung tent houses. Oh my, all right. Well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So we've seen that a little bit already, but let's talk about what we have going on over here, as our other sprung tent finally has some stuff going on with it. Looks like we're having a big like house being built back there, at least some sort of like house barn-like facade. I'm starting to think if maybe this will be hatchet and chains, because it's very kind of barn and like Western-esque, maybe the outside of like a saloon. I'm not sure, but at this point, the one over here on the left has almost been confirmed that this is going to be dolls now, because it looks like a giant, basically a dollhouse, and that big window is in fact going to be a window. But if you could see all the way back there, it looks like they're finally starting to put up the kind of house facade poster for Fallout. And I can see if we can try to get a look at the other one, because I have been told that they're also putting stuff up on the other one as well for another house. So it's really, really hard to tell, but if you look through the window, you can kind of see a little bit of purple and our kind of marquee signage for Gulkin, Village of the North. So it looks like we'll have things plastered on both of the outsides and maybe just interior facades for the back two sprung tents. A bit disappointing compared because of last year having such a nice facade with goblins, that I was at least hoping that one of these would have an entrance facade on the outside, but it's okay. At least these two look really good as of right now. But as of right now, that's what it's looking like, that we're gonna have Fallout, Gulkin, dolls, and then hatchet and chains up here. And this is something to definitely consider and possibly start being concerned about, is that the entire bridge connecting Springfield over to London is currently removed. They are working on reboarding it. Universal, we have a month until Horror Nights. Why did you decide to do this now? I really hope you know what you're doing, because this needs to be open for Horror Nights. Quick stop over by the MIB bathrooms. No house portals over here just yet. Nothing has changed for these pillars for the entrances for the two back sprung tents, but we do have some news to talk about over here at the former Fear Factor live stage. Now, nothing has gone up outside of here extra, no sign, no extra lights, no extra pillars or anything, but like I said, we had some shows announced, so we officially know what's going to be here in the Fear Factor live stage, which is going to be, of course, the return of Nightmare Fuel. That is right, so we have Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay. And a little bit of a synopsis for this house, or a little bit of synopsis for this show is this once vibrant circus has festered into an unending nightmare. It's a sinister spectacle of pyro aerialists and illusions. Yes, a lot of interesting details there. Not a ton to go off of, really, other than the fact that we were kind of building on the story from last year, which was our nocturnal circus last year. So I'm interested to see if it's kind of going to be the same vibe this year, and it's just kind of going to look all run down and raggedy. But definitely interested to see where we go this year with our new Nightmare Queen and the whole never-ending story that they have going on with the Nocturnal Circus, which is now the Circus of Decay. But now let's head over to the San Francisco area to talk about yet another one of our street experience that was revealed a week ago. Actually, I completely forgot. There is some stuff going on here in Diagon Alley. It hasn't officially been announced, but we're gonna head actually quickly into Diagon Alley to take a look at it because I missed it last time we were here because apparently there was some stuff here last time and I completely forgot. Yes, they were crate hunting again. A crate over here. A stage set up over here. Ooh, what could it possibly mean? Yeah, as everyone knows, this is probably meaning that we're gonna have the return of the Death Eaters yet again during Halloween Horror Nights, which is fantastic. Yet another way to kind of kill the crowds in certain areas. But yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on around here for that. I'm not sure what this is blocked off for. Yeah, maybe just a repair. I don't think it has anything to do with Horror Nights. Yep, once again, more crates and lights over here. And there's gonna be more crates over here. Maybe we can check down in Nocturne Alley to see if they have put any stages up over there. Yep, there's the crate from last year over here as well. But yeah, let's take a little trip down Nocturne Alley to see if we see any crates or any stages open over there. Yep, the crates have returned here as well. But no extra stage at all in here just yet. I think it was over here last time, kind of against this wall. But yeah, nothing there just yet. So nothing has gone up on this truss as of yet, but we do have something new in the middle of the center truss, which, like I said, has to do with our Club Horror Street experience. Yes, that is right. So this is not going to be a normal scare zone this year, which should hopefully kind of keep it from being a huge bottleneck. I doubt it, but this appears like it's going to be our kind of DJ booth setup stage for Club Horror here in San Francisco. And they already have a ton of lights being set up here. I'm interested to see if they're going to have any more stuff back here, maybe like stanchions for like go-go dancers or something. I don't know what's really gonna make this a club other than just a DJ, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But as of right now, that's kind of all we have as far as updates going on here in San Francisco. But it looks like we are almost done taking our little trip around Universal to see any sort of construction updates. The last area to check out is New York, which doesn't have a ton of actual updates for scare zone wise, but there is something very interesting that we need to take a look at. So walking down New York here, you can tell there really isn't any scare zone construction going on other than just the lights that we saw last time on the roofs. But there is something that we need to take a look at over here by the Palace Arcade. Actually, quick checkup back here, because this is the little path down towards the Gotham bathrooms past Louis. Wanted to see if they had anything staged back here, because they normally do for Horror Nights, at least for the scare zones. They'll put stuff back here and then they'll move them out into the zone. But it looks like we have a ton of stanchions back here for lines. I have a feeling that these might be for the Music Plaza, so I'm interested to see if these end up showing up out in Music Plaza within the next week or so to start building the lines up out there. That's strange. The arcade's closed and there's curtains up and we can't see inside. I wonder what's going on in there. Huh, the actual letters for arcade, for the Palace Arcade, are missing. Huh, and you can't see in the doors either. There's curtains up in front of those doors as well. Maybe if we check inside of the Mummy gift shop, we can get in. Huh, blocked off here as well. Very interesting. I'm interested to see what is going on in the arcade that we can't see. I doubt it's a renovation because that was just open a couple weeks ago when we were here for the Terrifier announcement. So let's head back outside and talk about it. Yes, so there's a couple rumors about what could be going in the Palace Arcade or what could be going on at the Palace Arcade. First rumor individually is that this is just going to be a separate experience for Five Nights at Freddy's to show off the new movie that comes out in December for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But also there's speculation that we will not have the New York location for the tribute store this year, or at least as you know it all the way down there, and that this will actually in fact be the facade for the tribute store instead this year. I'm interested to see if that's true, as this would be a much smaller tribute store than we're used to. I'm more leaning towards the fact this is going to be solely just a Five Nights at Freddy's experience, and maybe we have the costumes from the original movie chilling in there like they had over in Hollywood. Like I said, very interested to see what's going on in there. Not a lot of information going about it, but I assume that we'll get some information once Five Nights at Freddy's is officially announced as a house this year. No food booth construction going on down here just yet, but I assume probably within the next week we'll start seeing food booths start popping up out of nowhere. Same over here next to the yellow cab. Nothing put up just yet as far as food booths. And of course, once again, over here, still no update regarding a tribute store facade, which is kind of where that rumor is gaining traction, is the fact that we haven't seen any movement over here, and also that we still have these walls up over here. Now, I will confirm that I don't think that this has anything to do with the building over here, as from what I saw when I rode Rip Ride Rocket a couple weeks ago, that they're just doing some piping work and ground construction. So I don't think this has really anything to do with anything, and hopefully should be done in time for Horror Nights so they don't have to block off this entire area. But who knows? And also at the same time, the Tribune sign is gone. So there's a bunch of rumors that we may be seeing some sort of facade be put up on here for the mutations scare zone, the Toxic 20s here in New York. So yeah, very interesting stuff going on here in New York, and a ton of stuff that is just leaving a bunch of questions for the future for this year for HHN. Now over here at the Transformers Extended Queue, no actual removal of these stanchions has happened just yet, but new as of today, we have lights that have gone up in here. Red and blue lights, which kind of reminds me of Sinister and Surreal, to be completely honest, but they're not coming back this year, so very interesting color palette choice, to say the least. But this is normally where one of our bars is for HHN, so with these lights going up, I would assume that we might see some movement by the end of the week with these. And we are taking our final stop here in Music Plaza. As you can see behind me, no stanchions up just yet. As I expect, I think the stanchions that we see over in New York are probably what's coming back here within the next couple weeks. But I just want to quick talk about Rip Ride Rocket once again. Closes August 17th. I don't anticipate any actual construction will be done on it until after Horror Nights, because that would be too much of a logistical nightmare to try to figure out where the lines are going to go this year on such short notice. So I anticipate that is probably going to standing but not operating until at least November 1st. But as of right now though, like I said, get your last rides. August 17th is our final operating day. And just like that, we are back to where we started here at the beginning of our episode today. If you guys did enjoy this little trip around the park, taking a look at the construction for Halloween Horror Nights 34, please make sure you drop a like and also comment down below. Out of everything that we have had announced so far, whether it be shows, scare zones, houses, what are you most excited for? I think the thing that I'm most excited for that has been announced recently is probably going to be the Lagoon show coming back this year. I'm super hyped for the Lagoon show, and it's definitely going to be a welcome addition for this year's event. But as always, I'm Michael from Halloween Thrills, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you're out of here. See you guys next time.